All right, welcome back to The Devil in Detail, the Grendel Reread podcast. I'm Eli.
I'm Ben. We're back with our 114th episode of this podcast, and it's Grendel Devil's Quest, the final story, Too Dead to Die. It
Too dead to die.
sounds like Jethro Tull.
I know. And he ain't too dead to die. I was thinking it, I didn't even think of that, but I was thinking it sounded like like a bluegrass tune or something someone would play with like a wash tub bass. Too dead to die.
We'll get into all that after the fanfare for the launch
Ooh,
of
yes.
Matt and Kelly Jones's Kickstarter,
Huge.
Dracula Book 1, The Impaler. Wowie wow.
Yeah, I mean, it looks absolutely amazing. I mean, I know you guys who are listening to this probably backed it, like guys and girls. Everyone who's listening to this backed it immediately. But man, this thing, it had a goal of $666, 666, of course,
Get it?
and it raised $60,000 already. And it just went live today. And when I woke up this morning, it was like, this project is 5,000% funded. I was like, holy shit.
Well, that's great. So then we can happily speculate on just how high the numbers will go over the next, 30 days or so.
Yeah, it's insane. And someone was commenting somewhere else where they're like, these two are just purely masters. These are masters of the craft. So whoever loves comics, you want this. And the fact someone said something like, and I don't remember hearing this, but that Matt and Kelly were like looking for a publisher and no one wanted to do it, so they did it themselves. Did you hear that? Yeah, I didn't hear that. So I wonder if that's the case.
I've been off of social media and comics news stuff.
Yeah,
for about a month.
It's not a terrible thing. It's not a terrible thing.
But
how else am I going to get the cast out?
But the more that I see of this Kickstarter, which you showed me just half an hour ago,
yes,
the better and better this project looks. This is,
oh my god.
So,
the epic trailer too, like the guy who's like, Dracula is home once again. But what is the end something? Even the gods must fall. I can't remember what he said. I recorded some voiceover and I sent it over to our group chat. Let me see if I can play it because it's funny. One must become godless. Dracula, book 1, amazing. Oh my god, killer ending.
Killer ending.
One must become a god. Yeah, I'm excited. Like Matt saying, we've all seen this tale of Dracula a million times, but it's always kind of like this one point in his life. And here they're going to expand on all these other tales from within his lifetime. It's so sick.
I'm big enough to admit that I will finally read Bram Stoker's novel for the first time.
Wow, in order to prep for this.
I've had it only had it on my shelf for 20 years.
Hey, for a book, that's still good, At least it's gonna get read.
Still good.
I had a thing on Facebook where I posted a Grendel tale idea I had got last night that features this Dracula. Dracula takes a trip to the Far East where he takes an interest in kabuki theater. There he meets a young actor who mystifies him. They begin a tryst, and after a few days, Dracula disappears, never to be seen again. The actor is angered by the loss and strikes out to tour the world in search of his missing lover, confidant, and friend. Tujiro exits frame in the last panel and reveals a carving, Tushiro plus Vlad forever. I was just like, that's a good idea, man. I mean, because
you're a great writer. You know what else is a good idea this week?
What? Cut me off. Oh my god!
I know you want to talk about this.
Yes, we talked about it all day.
I had to cut you off.
It's so good.
What a book!
It's absolutely glorious, beautiful. And I'll put in the comments or like one of those balloons right here, whatever, to watch this video that Ben sent me last night, an interview of Bill Watterson and John Cashed about how they made this book. And when I first read about this book, it was like, oh, it's written by Bill Watterson with art by John Cashed, but it's a story by John Watterson, yes, but then they work together in a fusion on the art, right, Ben?
Tandem teams are tough. Solo acts are harder. Let's get into the intro and see the crescendo And denouement, the grand finale,
Oh yes.
the grand finale of Grendel Devil's Quest.
It's like the devil is my best friend. Hunter rose with the pen to the fork end, or till time end. Like Orion, Jupiter, my kin, bloodline private. We control the whole shit. The wolf won't beef, then we feast off the rip. Behold the devil in detail. Behold the devil in detail.
All right, we are back. The Devil in Detail is coming back. We're going to get right into the final Devil Quest tale, but I'd like to do a quick shout out to the Devil in Detail crew on YouTube and podcast platforms. Adrian Merrington is one who recently left. I guess actually this is January 25th, but I haven't read one for a while. He just caught up on listening to the episodes released at 103, an excellent companion whilst rereading the comics. I enjoyed the podcast version, but it's missing the videos showing the pages available on other platforms. Still highly recommended. You know, that's something we don't always say. Like, we do have the podcast and we do have the YouTube. So if you're listening to this podcast, just know that every episode has a full YouTube on there. He said, if you only listen to one episode, make it the episode where Matt, the creator, artist, and writer, and Brennan, colorist, artist, make an appearance. Some information on what's to come and what happened with the Netflix show. Very enjoyable. The Netflix show, you
Very enjoyable.
Not Adrian, just the showrunners, you assholes. All right. So, and
Very
then,
enjoyable.
you know, the crew over on YouTube is always in. James Haney, I think, posts a comment on every video. He has a good one. Reno Roke said, "What? Wow, that's so cool." Oh, that was for Ghost Agents. Anyway, James Bravo, as Matt Wagner once said, stuff doesn't work out in Grendel. We've come along. It's been a long journey since the first episode of the podcast. Nice work, guys. And then I will say that we had a lot of people.
Devlers. That's really nice.
Yes,
thanks for always jumping in there in the comments. We appreciate it.
Yes. So hit us up. You know, I do still have a few of those of a second printing, black and white printing I did of the Grendel zine. So if you're interested in getting one of those, I have a couple left. Hit me up. Leave a comment on a YouTube or on the podcast app, and we'll get to it ASAP Rocky. All right, let's get into this book now, Ben. So this is the final story. I'm still going along in my trade here. Some really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff in this one. Too Dead to Die.
Yeah, this is the Indian chief.
Mm-hmm. Native
Last
American.
story.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually, you know, I looked up the steps. You know, he said we're on the middle steps. Did you know where that was?
I do not know where this is supposed to take place.
Yeah, I think the steps are what I looked up says it's in like the Middle East area, I believe.
Could be referencing a smaller set of steps.
Middle East.
You know, it's
steps,
got this.
yeah.
It's got this Sioux Navajo design stuff going on in the gutters.
Oh, that's right.
The entire time, and so that leads me to believe it's maybe in the continental U.S., but I don't know.
Another thing that I notice design-wise about this story too is every other story, or most of the stories from this, were done on this like gray paper, you know, and they had ripped, except for this one. But they're all on that gray paper, or a lot of the last few have been on that gray paper. Sorry, it's only the original few. And this one never once shows the whole paper. It's always ripped pieces, you know, kind of to show too that this is like last ditch effort of these people to.
Yeah, for sure. There's the torn paper is used to really cool effect in the moments of violence and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's being told by the chief, and he's hanging out with Hitchcock Blue, who is spent and dejected and finished with his quest. It's gone. It has not worked out for him, and his crisis of faith has left him at rock bottom.
Yeah, he has one energy sphere left, and he's sharing it with this chief, and he's like, I'm fucking done. They're talking, he's like, this is worded so well. Like, this is such a perfect like tie up to these, to really all these stories and this quest, this quest for the devil that we've been following this whole time. And oh my God, it's like the con is dead. My opponents have abandoned the quest. Our patron has reneged on the contract, and now the con is dead. It doesn't even fucking matter. I just spent all this time on a quest, and now I didn't get him, and the guy who was going to pay me died, and everything's gone. And so he's just like, I'm fucked here. He's got this like orca whale looking scooter, like you see in the last panel. Kind of looks like an orca, but
yeah. And the other one has sort of a when you get a better look at it, has sort of an animal quality to it as well.
So on the next page, we get a beautiful blue watercolor, like killer, in my brain, album art for the podcast, splash right here. Glorious, man. It's so sick. And this bottom panel too has like the, Native American folk art feel like you were talking about. That's so cool. That's like, to me, right out of like a Fillmore poster or something, Fillmore West, or like, I love it.
I really enjoy how the panel borders bulge and shake and rattle and are imperfect and
yeah, it's ripped. You just like that's,
I think that maybe these it looks like these Navajo, I'm sorry, these designs in the gutters are made up of cut pieces of the tape.
Absolutely.
Wowie wow. So Hitchcock Blue says that he's his quest and his search for faith, I guess, essentially, got him even into trinkets and superstition. And behold, he's a fragment of Hunter Rose's skull.
The true skull.
In a pit in New York. Yeah, the true they reference the true skull, and like this Grendel native chief knows what he's talking about.
All about the true skull.
His Grendel patch is sewn on his heart.
And so he just throws it, and it clinks over on the next page and then pops out of the thing as it breaks. And, Hitchcock Blue is just like, I'm done. I'm out of here. This is my final thing. And uses his last minute to scream into the air, Stella! I don't know about what that quote. He's like, one day, Brilla session, you shall wear my chain.
I wonder what wearing his
I was thinking the exact same thing.
I can imagine, but also I wonder why Brilla and not both of them. Why just her?
Yes, exactly.
And
is it love thing? Like, I love you, or is it like you will like be my prisoner?
I think. Or both. I really like these last two panels where he stands up and he says that, and then he sits, and then they've got these like lopsided vertical rectangle shape to them. The shapes complement each other as he moves.
God damn. And again, he has a ripped piece of paper. He has white tape he's making the panel borders with, and then that's it. It's so awesome. It's cartooning on a whole nother level, ripping out these little pieces, turning them into these gloriously painted and prisma-colored. Oh my God. I love this shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm sad to see it go, but we've got a whole nother level in the next
Hitchcock Blue's got his blue shark.
Yep.
Gets out of there. This guy watches, and then if only the O. Henry irony. If only Hitchcock Blue had stuck around, he'd see whatever is coming.
What you were looking for. And then that bony trinket, the fragment of the original hunter's brain bowl, somehow induced. Pum pum.
Somehow.
An aberration.
I like how when he's materializing, he looks like one of those wacky inflatable arm guys. As the electricity kind of like brings him
on panel one of the next page.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And he hides behind his orca as it comes down, and he just like basically falls to the ground in a heap like of pieces. And
I'm really impressed by the lighting on the orca bike's eye.
Oh,
the way that this sort of dusky blue fades into the natural tone.
Yeah. So
Good airbrushing on this one. Very restrained airbrushing, simple and effective.
Yeah.
These energy effects.
Damn.
This is a good one. Nice written on sound effect.
Yeah, clang, a nice
Very
clang
nice.
there. And so he stands up, of course, and he's got his gun right there. He's got it locked. And we've got just the top of Grendel Prime, basically, with using his spinal column as a leg, pushing himself up with his shattered, tattered arm. He looks over and sees the guy, and like Grendel Prime just picks up a shard. This painting, Ben, too, is insane. Like the rendering here on the bullet, and it's breaking the panel border, and then we've got this yellow.
Yeah, it has like shades of Simon Bisley in the
Yeah.
in the brush and the mark making and stuff like that. Yeah. This is my favorite when the thing goes through the guy's head and the paper tearing on the violence is very strong.
Oh my god, yeah.
But my favorite thing on this page is this second panel where you can see the Prismacolor over the tone paper.
Oh yeah, the purple there right after
the purple.
Yeah.
If you look at these, like the debris, there's like these great like lighting or cast shadows or whatever. But the highlights are not white. The white is only on the palette and where he's going on the bike, right? So on the important things. I really enjoyed that.
The way that if it's like a colored pencil, you're like rubbing off these shards or whatever, and the way that like sits on the paper, like that adds like a texture, like a sand, such a beautiful sand tone, like a true texture that we're like picking up.
Yeah. This one, so the paladin very awkwardly gets into this bike. Mm-hmm. I really like how weird and simple his inner skeleton is.
Yeah.
And then are we to believe that the act of vanishing and reappearing took him apart, or ... is there more? Right? That's where we're headed next.
Yes. And one final shout out to this very cool Grendel logo down here. So simplified into the two triangles and the line.
Little mosaic. There you go. It. And then do you think the end is like, it's very clean?
Yeah, that might be, I don't know. Could that be actual type that they laid on? That's what I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it must be.
Very nice.
So good. Matt, an amazing tour de force, Devil Quest.
Yeah, really, really unique book.
Yeah. Not another like it in the entire Grendel, cycle. And, this is going to lead us. So in the printing, the actual printing timeline of these, this was originally in the backs of those Grendel tales. And so that was throughout the 90s and stuff and early 2000s.
It's across 14 different comic issues.
Oh, damn. The first printing of this was 94. So maybe it was actually 80s and 90s, obviously. And this was reprinted in 2008. But, okay. So then the next step is the Batman Grendel, and that's Grendel Prime versus Batman. And that's, Ben, you said something you've never read. So this is going to be something all new.
Never read it.
Here's a bit of a spoilie. Where he goes is to Batman. That's where it's built in. Yeah, you know that. Yeah. And Batman beat the shit out of him right here.
That's nice. It's always nice to see Batman
beat the shit. I mean, there's more to it.
Out of zombies and robots and all this.
But it's not as much like the original one. Surely there's no remember how it was like the two ladies' viewpoint? It's much more straightforward. Oh yeah, Hildy. All right, cool. So everyone get on that Kickstarter. We got a mini episode here. Oh, next time we're back, we will be joined by a guest host with us for the for the Batman returning guest host with us, Tony McMillan, who joined us for the original Batman Grendel. He'll be back next time for Batman Grendel Part 1. All right, y'all. Until next time, Vivat Grendel.
Keep on Grendeling. Thanks, Eli.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Woo!